Okay, this is going to be the process for making heated poached eggs using these little cute guys. I think they're called eggies. Anyway, set them in the water. You don't want to really have it boiling, it's just nice and hot. And then we have our eggs over here already poured, so this won't. I do this so they don't break. So we put it in here, one blob, then another blob. The whole process takes only about 6 minutes, but I may do it in 2 parts because, well, not 2 parts, but let me start my timer. Once the eggs begin to get solid enough, I can take off the rings and then they'll just kind of float there. But to keep the heat on them, I always put a cocked lid on like this, just for the first bit, to keep them, speed up the process a little bit. And then, while that's happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the bread rings just with using this. You can use anything, a glass or something like that. So what I do is I like to use a spray oil. I'll do it over the sink here. And then you just kind of cut them out. These breads are thick, but it doesn't matter. And then you just kind of twist it a little bit, take off the excess. There we go. Over here, pop it out. Come on, girl. Okay, here's one. And then it's always better to respray between. It's harder to get them out if you don't. Let's see if we can do this. It's a pretty easy process. You could use any method you want. Doesn't matter about the fluffies on the outside here. They just make for crispy treats. And then we'll pop those in the toaster. I don't get a toaster bar from the phone the big. Just want to crisp them up a little bit, and then we'll reheat them again after. See how the puppies are doing. They're doing good. You never want to go to a full boil, otherwise it just makes a mess. So I got that part. Next thing I do is, this is how we're going to get them out. That's the most tricky part. I always put a little oil on there. Then, let's see if we're ready to take off the ring. Not quite yet. I'm going to turn up the heat a tiny tad bit. There we go. So hard to regulate this. Okay. So they're poaching right now, poaching and toasting, and then should be ready to go. Key to cooking is you have to have everything ready ahead of time. You have to know what you need, because if you don't, you're going to be panicking looking for something like this, or then you're going to get pissed off and throw it against the wall. And you have to start all over again. Not really boiling, but I don't want to take the rings off yet because I think they'll spread out too much. Let me just pump up the heat just real quick. Just blast it. Now these guys, what I want to do, because I'm going to reheat them later. I was just crisping them up a little bit. Okay, so now I'll go back down to the low heat. Pop off the rings. Hopefully they won't spread out too much. Good, good. Most people like their eggs over easy. These are sunny side up, so that way you can have some nice delicious yolk to have on your bread once we're done. But the only thing I didn't prepare for was where to put this when I'm done. But we'll figure it out. MJ's gonna eat this when we're done here. I'll just put them on this for now. So while they're finishing up, I'll clean this up a little bit. Yeah, this pandemic, you can't even get paper towels or toilet paper in the city right now. It's ridiculous. What do people need with paper towels and toilet paper in a pandemic? Anyway, okay, so I got that there, that there. Got our butter ready because we're going to be putting butter on it before we set them on the. See what time we're at now. And at 22 seconds, so we're okay. I'm gonna put the lid on it again just to heat them up fully. Because if you don't have them well enough, they'll fall apart while you're trying to pick them up. They're slippery enough as it is. They'll want to go everywhere except where you want them. Oh, that was the timer. Okay. I think they're good to go. Okay, turn off the heat. Reheat these guys again real quick. Reheat there. I think we're good to go. I'm going to move this closer because these guys are slippery devils. There. So what I'm going to do now is just get these guys up, which is sometimes fun because you get to burn your fingers if they're too hot. 1, 2. It's nice to have them hot because it melts the butter so quickly. Put a blob there, blob there. I'll try and get these guys out without them flipping over onto the stove. Come on, guys. Good job. Okay, there's one. Two. Voila. Done. Well, you're supposed to serve it first, but that's how it's done.